It is, of course, my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to this important and timely event. A dialogue on Gen Z as agents of change in Pakistan's future. Today's event is designed as a space for critical reflection, dialogue, and deep focused listening. You will hear from a range of voices, thought leaders, policy practitioners, and most importantly, the Gen Z themselves. I want to take a moment to thank the visionary minds behind today's event, Ikram Sehgal Saab, Amani Sehgal, and Brigadier Retired Jahid Ali Saab. Your leadership is setting the stage for this dialogue, and I am, for one, very, very excited about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we formally begin today's proceedings. I could want to now invite Amani Sehgal. Amani Sehgal is Gen Z. And she's also founder of Provisional Fund Book Foundation. I've been a small part of it. I've interviewed, this girl has interviewed me. You know, I didn't interview her. She came to my university to interview me. And I loved every question she asked me. The floor is yours, Mr. Kak.
About 5 years ago, I remember learning from my dada that many corporations were trashing excess books instead of donating them for a greater purpose. This shocked me because, as many of you would agree, donating a book to charity seems far more reasonable than throwing it into a dump pile or setting it on fire. To me, it felt like a waste of education and a serious blow to the environment. I was about 7 or 8 years old, visiting my dada and dadi's house in Karachi. One afternoon, a bus rolled in, and at first, I thought it was just another transport vehicle. Then, I saw a line of students all around my age stepping onto backpacks. I later found out that this wasn't just a school bus, it was a bus that functioned as a school. Those two experiences planted the seed for Providentia books. Providentia began with the simple idea to take books that were sitting on shelves, gathering dust, and make sure that they weren't being thrown away or burned, but instead given to people who could truly benefit from them. Providentia books would not exist without Ikram Sehgal, who I am the privilege of calling my dada. Dada has always believed that real change starts with access to education and opportunity. Dada has always led by example. When the idea of Providentia first came up, he did not treat it like a side project. He gave it his full attention. He asked the right questions, connected us to the right people, and never let the mission drift. Thanks to Dada's vision through hard work, Providentia Books has now donated over 60,000 books to 30 schools of NGOs across 5 major cities. Today, seeing how far it has come is a testament not only to my dada's dedication to others, but also to his determination to make universal education not a utopian dream, but a simple reality. Thank you.
Today we gather to recognize and celebrate the potential of a generation that is not only digitally fluent, but also globally aware, socially conscious, and deeply passionate about justice, innovation, and progress. Gen Z holds the power to challenge the status quo and lead a country into a more inclusive, progressive, and resilient future. Pakistan's greatest asset is its youth. You represent energy, creativity, and courage at a time when the country needs all three. Through your innovation, your voice, and your action, you have the capacity to rewrite the narrative on education, climate, technology, governance, and social harmony. Let this forum be a space of bold thinking and honest conversations to discover new ways to lead positive, lasting change for our country and beyond. I'm sharing the stage, and that young Amani Sehgal was there. The idea of Providentia Books originated from her fertile mind. But of course, as she has also said, Providentia Books Foundation would not have been at this stage without the vision, and the unstinted support of Mr. Ikram Segal, who is the co-chairman of Pathfinder. So we thank him most sincerely for that. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and I'm sure we will have very fruitful discussions.
Welcome then all of you to our fourth workshop from a series titled The Pathfinder Challenge, encouraged and sponsored by the Pathfinder Group, a private sector group of companies that brings together young and old generations into a dialogue process with an objective to understand conflicting views and finding ways to empower the coming generations to be ready to run Pakistan in 20 years from now. Gen Z and others have explored avenues to tackle many diverse subjects that include but are not limited to climate change in the year 2050, developing leaders of character in a world of artificial intelligence. Gen Z is a cohort typically born between the year 1997 and 2012. These digital natives are the currently marketable professionals. For them, gadgets like laptops, and I'm using a laptop, are often considered obsolete as they mostly live and work through palm tops and smartphones, and sometimes it's difficult for them to breathe without them. This generation is considered pragmatic about work, but often characterized with work and anxiety regarding their future prospects. They enter a job market where there is less premium to formal post-grad degrees as depicted in the job openings in artificial intelligence and automation that are transforming the market. They put a strong emphasis on diversity and inclusion and are passionate about social change.
We also have with us five tigers and tigeresses of the Gen Z who hold a lot of promise. So today we're going to change the mode of our discussion a little bit. And as this session talks about education, the problems and solutions, especially in the context of Pakistan, so we thought that we should have a mix of both private and public sector universities, and then we also have a young representative coming.
So I think the generation gap and the traditional method कि आपने बस एक ही one way communication होती है, you don't listen. So I would say कि थोड़ी सी trainings होनी चाहिए for teachers so that we have an open space.
लिहाजा वो जो इंटरेस्ट की मैंने बात की कि इंटरेस्ट को आगे लगाया जाए कि बच्चों को उसके साथ लेके चलें. सो आई थिंक दैट इज अ क्रूशियल पॉइंट कि जब हम उसके अंदर से फाइनेंशियल चीज को निकालेंगे तो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पैदा होगी. जब हम बच्चों को उनके इंटरेस्ट को फॉलो करने की इजाजत देंगे तो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पैदा होगी. और साथ ही जैसे मैंने पहले कहा था कि प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग की तरफ नहीं जाना कि वो आप पिल दे देते हो डिप्रेशन के ऊपर, आप उसकी रूट कॉज को एड्रेस करो, उसको सर्च करो. तो इसी के ऊपर अभी जो जितनी चैट जीपीटी हो गई आपके पास और जितनी लेटेस्ट एडवांसमेंट्स आ रही हैं, बजाय इसके कि ये कहा जाए कि आप इसको यूज नहीं कर सकते, आप उसको यूज करना सिखाएं. जैसे मैं डिस्कस करो जीपीटी के साथ, फिर अपनी उसके कंक्लूजन पे.
We need to have some trained teachers because everybody who qualifies or has a grade as a degree does not qualify for a teacher. For example, मेरा temperament teaching वाला नहीं है, I know that. So there are different people जो कि उनकी different skills होती है, तो teachers की भी reassessment होनी चाहिए because obviously अभी अगर हम Gen Z का dialogue कर रहे हैं, अब आगे Gen Alpha का dialogue कर रहे होंगे if we don't bridge that gap.
So the challenges that we are facing in our college right now that I prefer to be discussed. Among them, we have seen that the curriculum we are studying, the syllabus, it is about 20-30 years old. Not the current education that we need about artificial intelligence, about technology. And also, I would also like to talk about the inequality of some teachers that they do in our classes. The topper students that are really good in studies, they are treated very well. They are allowed to ask everything they can. And the other boys that are a little bit weak in studies, they're not given the opportunity to speak. So I think the more hard work needs to be done on the weak students.
The only way we can figure out how to move past this is we need to deny the philosophies we've been shown. We should take the language as it is, but we should deny everything that has been taught to us by the West and by the colonizers And we should not have this mentality of inequality